Okay, let's get this party started. How's everybody doing? Let's make sure we have sound here. We do have sound. Hello, hello. Welcome to this early edition of DWIT. And yeah, let's just get right into it, and let's just go see who's visiting. I'm going to do my best to go as long as I can. I'm having a fair bit of shoulder pain today for some reason. Call it the weather, call it what you will, but the pain is making me feel a little bit nauseous, a little bit uncomfortable, but I'll do what I can and I'll stick it out as long as I can for you guys. So let's see who's here. Let's go ahead and say hello in chat. I see another CG. Rick Hunter is here. Tulsa Skin, Death Cube, Jerry Martin, Wiki Central, Gorilla Biscuits, Guy the Jedi, Barton Fink. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I got to do it right now. Who else? Bitty Boop is here. Cuckafoo is here. Andy Visley is here. Sam the Rat Terrier is here. Well, Sam Rat Terrier, not Sam the Rat Terrier. And Brent Ferguson is here. I forgot to go ahead and pin the link to the giveaway. I'm going to put that right down in chat right now. Hopefully it's still in my pasteboard. Let's see. Yes, it is. So we'll post that there, and then we'll pin that to the top of the chat. Go ahead and boom. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Go ahead and enter to win some Polymaker on tonight's stream. Thank you, Polymaker, for allowing me to give away your product each and every live stream. Well, each and every scheduled live stream. Let's get that straight. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is pinned. Grill on in 90 minutes. Make me as uncomfortable as possible to cancel out the pain. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that, Barton Fink. I appreciate that. Brent, I got your message, and I've got a couple options possibly, but I want to test one before I send anything. So I did get your message, and I've got more together than I thought I could. So stay tuned. Sooner than later. Okay, so we did, I know last week I said we were going to look at the heads and maybe make a decision on what heads to print. But you know what? I wanted to get the head done because part of the assembly is going to be getting the head in his seat and wired up and everything. So I decided to go ahead with this head because it kind of matches the body kind of cool. So here, let me put that on. So I decided to go ahead with this guy here. He was a 33-hour print. So you're looking between the body and the head, you're looking at over 70 hours of printing. 44 and 33 is 77, almost 80 hours of printing. I can't wait to get my tool changer. That would cut that down significantly. And I meant to bring the box of waste home to show you how much poop there was basically from this head. It was incredible how much there was. But yeah, so that's the head I decided to go with. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it looks really well. So yeah, there we go. That's the head. Head games. Anyways, so I did a couple things off stream really quick. First, I'll tell you about my screw ups, okay? And just when you're doing a build and you're not that I'm rushing, but you just got to sort of pay attention to everything. I've been doing a few of these pieces off book. In other words, I haven't been reading the instructions, but so I got the front bumper, which is the different front bumper than my last one, and I put it on the chair. But earlier in the week, I came down here, decided to do a bit of work. I got the glue all over all over the front bumper, my CA glue. I took the seat, the base of the seat here, sprayed it with the CA activator, proceeded to put the bumper on, and it was on there, and it was on there for good. Nothing was going to take it off. Then I proceeded to realize I put the bumper on upside down. And no matter how fast I realized that it was on upside down, which was pretty fast, once you get that activator and that CA glue together, there is no coming back. I literally took it and I bam on the bench. It did separate, but it broke both pieces. So I ended up having to reprint the pieces. And I made sure this time when I put it together, there are 5 alignment pins under here, and I put grub screws in as the alignment pins. I made sure it was the right way. We put it on, we have it on the right way, and then I just screwed on these other 2 pieces of the seat, which just screwed through the back of the main base here. So that is sort of the seat assembly kind of started, you can see there. So looks like a Mickey Mouse shoe. Yeah, I guess it kind of does, doesn't it? Hey, Klondike, hello, hello. Hey, Jack in the shop, hello, hello. Yeah, so anyways, that's the thing. When you're using CA glue in the activator and you're putting pieces, and the reason I did it with the activator, and I don't usually like to put the activator on until after I put the pieces together, but because I had alignment pins, I knew I was in exact alignment, and as soon as I stuck them together, it was done. But and then I realized, and I said, oh crap, I put it on upside down. So anyways, that's the base. And what happens, let me switch to this overhead view. So you have your base seat here with the front bumper. And then the actual Droid is going to sit in the base just like that. So that's how he's going to sit in the base. Just like that. That's how Mr. Droid sits in there. His head's going to turn. And then we got some stuff that we got to put in for his arms on the side like that. So now the one thing that we have to do that wasn't in the models, and this is a foreknown thing that we have to do, is so the head can come off because we got to do some wiring on that. If you'll notice in the base, get out of there, that one. And if you notice in the base, we have a hole that goes right through, oh, where's my pinky? Right through to the bottom. Okay, that hole goes right through, and that's where we feed the wires from the servo for the head. That's where we feed the wires down. Not only from the, I believe we also feed the wires for the arms, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm wrong. Just the servos for the head go down there. But when we print the body, there is no hole for the wires. This hole is to attach the body to the seat. So I went through with a marker and I marked out where we have to put that hole. So the wires from the servo and the head are going to go down through that hole and through into the base. So we've got to drill a hole in here. And clearly in Michael Baddeley's instructions, he says he purposely didn't put a separate model out with a hole in it because he didn't want to blah, blah, blah. And yes, the comments are going to come, yes, I could have actually put a modifier in the slicer to do this, but I totally forgot about it. So, but it's no problem drilling a little hole out. It looks like it'll keep him well above the worm parts, the wombats. Yeah, we're going to drill a poop chute, exactly. What ESC are you running? Rick Hunter, that's a great question. That's one thing I want to talk about tonight because I have the choice of 3 ESCs. For those of you that aren't familiar, ESC is electronic speed controller. We had a smaller electronic speed controller in the original model. I've upped the motor power, so I have 3 electronic speed controllers to choose from, and I'm going to show you those, and I'm going to decide which one to use because I honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to read some of the information on these things and yada, yada, yada. And this is where I learn as I go. And I'll learn as I go what all the stuff on these speed controllers talks about. But we'll get to that in a moment. Hey, Timor. And I'm going to just drill a hole in this thing for now. And we're going to get this hole drilled. And we'll go from there. Let's see, did I miss any other questions? Smash the like button. Thank you, Jerry. This is why you always do a dry fit. I did do a dry fit, Brent. I did do a dry fit. Trust me. Brain fart. I did. Yeah. There was a dry fit involved, believe me. That's what makes it even sadder when you think about it. Yeah. So, Jerry told you I went on early. I did. I scheduled it a bit early on purpose. I'm kind of alone this week. Maria's in Florida with Ethan, so me and Waylon are alone this week. So I thought I'll just go on early today, and you know, I didn't realize I was going to be feeling not so good today because of the pain in my shoulder. But as I say, we're gonna go as long. We're gonna go at least till 6 o'clock, possibly till 7. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. So we'll see how things go. Going to go walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes while watching on TV. Sounds good, Jerry. No worries at all. Use a 0.45 to make the hole. A 0.45 what? All I need to do is run servo wires down through the hole. But so what I've got is I've got my 2 drill bits I'm going to use. Oh, use a 45 to make the hole. You mean like a 45 caliber thing? Yeah. Okay. 45 caliber drill bit. I'm not going to say the word. So we're going to put a drill bit in here, and we're going to drill a hole right where I marked it. I'm going to see if I can hit the center of this hole. It's not critical, but we'll see. Let's just see what happens here. There we go. And there's one hole done. One whole hole. It's real easy to drill through this plastic, right? And then we'll take that bit out, and we'll use the next big bit I want to put in here. And we'll drill a nice large hole in here so that everything fits in there just nicely. So we'll just do this, and there we go. Let me just get some of this drill poop out of here and brush that off down in my bin and knock it out. And there we go. We have a hole. We have a poop chute built into it there, and then from the inside, just a little hole like that for the wiring to go down. So yeah, that's it. That's all. No damage done. No, you're not going to see that hole. He sits on that hole, so won't be seen. Let me just clean that up a bit. There we go. There we go. Get all the little excess filament pieces out of here. You're going to hear the dog bark a lot. There's nobody upstairs to tell him to be quiet. He's just barking at all the people that walk by the front of the house. He just wants to be involved. So we'll take that out, put these bits away. There we go, hole drilled. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the servo mount in here and the servo in here. And then what happens is when we line this guy up, the hole will line up on the bottom. And as you can see, we will be able to run the wire through there without issue at all. Came from the poop chute. Doesn't that make it a droid poop? Droid poop, exactly. 45 drill bit. 45 millimeter drill bit. I don't know what I used. Anyways, it's going to work. It's going to work. Let's grab the instructions and see, before I get too far ahead of myself, what we're supposed to be doing here. The body consists of 2 main components, the main base, including the can lift mechanism, and the seat driver. The seat/driver can use any of the Baby Astrometric series bodies or domes for customization. So you can use any of the baby drones that he has that will work for the body. No problem at all. The body of the Baby Astromech does need a hole drilling in the bottom for cables, which is what I just did. Rather than re-releasing bodies in 2 versions, which would confuse, I've decided to use a drilled hole version instead. The seat has the guide for the hole, and it's a 2-second piece of work. Well, it took me a few more than 2 seconds, but hey, what the heck. The mainframe seat does have removable parts, greebles, for further customization or on your own design to add to the build. I will also be adding extra pilots. Don't know what that means, but that's okay. So then we talk about going on to do the greebles. I can glue some greebles in here. Let's go ahead and glue some greebles. Greebles wobble, but they don't fall down, right? I think that's the way it goes. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and bring the body. Now you'll notice somebody suggested it and I tried it. We painted those stripes red on the side. I think it turned out pretty good. I've got a little bit of the prime showing through on the edges. You can't see it on camera too well, but there's a little prime showing through on the edges. Maybe in the upper camera, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not overly concerned with it. But the red, I primed it with white first, a few coats of white. Then I did 4 coats of red, and I think it looks pretty good. I'll figure out maybe later how to get rid of that white, those white prime lines, but I'm kind of happy with it. Kind of happy with the way that turned out. Pilots as in droid heads, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because there's, I'll show you them after. Did I bring them home? I think I brought them home on a disc that's in my pocket upstairs. But he has a Halloween droid, so there's a pumpkin head that can go on here. There's a ghost head that can go on here. So pretty much I can print as many heads as I need, because basically all that's involved in the head, honestly, is that insert that allows you access to the gear, and then a screw that goes through that insert. Okay, that basically there's going to be some little bearings in the hole here, and that screw goes through the bearings, and that's all that's involved. So to switch out a head, it's just simply a matter of popping the head off and popping a new head on. So yeah, so I may print some different heads depending. So yeah, but I'll wait till I get my tool changer, because I don't want to do 33-hour prints again, where the waste poop is about 4 times as much filament as the actual head. But man, it's so much better. So much better than my painting by hand would have been. Like, look at all those little silver wire things that I put in there too, right? I wouldn't have painted those nearly that clean, you know, when you think about it. But that, you know, that's beautiful job on that, I think. So love that, love that. Evening 3D Medic Vince. We can all use more heads. I agree. There we go. Cover the prime with black paint. Oh, I never thought of doing that. Yeah, I could. Anyways, I'm not overly worried about it. Nobody's going to come up to it and say, "Oh, you got a mistake in your painting there." So, now as far as the greebles go, let me grab my greebles over here. So we're going to have a few things here. So these little guys, I've still yet to figure out how I'm going to mount that back tail fin on. This guy's going to go on the back, but I'll show you the issue I'm having with that in a minute. So for now, we're going to put this greeble, this one, this one, this one, and this one on, okay? And I think that's all I need for now. Is there anything else in here I'm going to need? I'm going to need those things for the can mounts, but we'll worry about them in a minute. So there's a couple places where these things go. Oh, come on. My chair is catching on something on the floor here. Maybe use a Sharpie on the primer. Oh, that would work too, but as long as I can get along the edge. We'll see. We'll figure that out after. It's not keeping me up at night right now, so that's okay. So on the, here, let me move you off to the side for a minute here. Okay, you stay there. Do not fall. Don't fall. On the main body, we have greebles going a few different places. We have the driver controls here. We have the driver controls here. And we have a plate on the side, another plate on the side, and one on the back. So the back one gets this new greeble right here. The other one was different. I like this one. They don't stick up as much. They're not going to break as easy. Now, this guy here is intended, so you'll see there's a hole here and a hole here on the model. I'm not sure if you can see that. If I bring this in a little bit closer, you might be able to see there's a hole here and a hole here where we would normally line up. There's a different greeble that will go on there. I didn't print it, but those holes correspond with the holes that are on this. So that would line up right about there. Okay, the issue with this one is this was not designed for a Droid that carries the can holder. So if I grab the can holder, which is right here, and there was a guy out there that did this with this greeble, and I don't know how he did it, but I'm going to figure it out on my own. Just a matter of making a little modification. So if I put the can holder into Sabertooth ESC's electronic speed controllers. Okay. So if I put the can holder in, and that goes right there, is where the can holder goes. Problem is this can't go up far enough. Okay, and we need to leave room. So this has to sort of be altered a little bit to sit back behind these can holders about like that. So I've got to figure out, now maybe it's just a matter I can just glue that on there like that. Okay, because then we have these pieces that are going to go on the side. Let's move that up a bit. These pieces that are going to go on the side of that, this one, and then we have another one that goes on the side over here. Okay, so I may just end up gluing this in place since I can't line the actual screw holes up. But if I were to actually, you know, just get there on here, I'm going to wait till the can holders are made so I can make sure I have no problem with the servos that are going to lift this, and we want to make sure that can holder is not going to be in the way. But we may just end up doing something like that and gluing it on. So looking like that. So we'll see. But I really like this thing. Like, look at that from the back. That's going to look badass. Look at that, because I painted that in the slicer with the red and silver, like so. Okay. Anyways, meantime, this one's fine. We can leave this greeble on here now. And again, the reason for this one, it's a lower cut greeble. And once we put this on, the other one wouldn't have fit under there anyway. So this will go under there kind of like that. And this will be like little jet engines under that. Now, I'm not sure if this is meant to go on this way or this way. I have a feeling that this maybe is meant to go on this way. I'm not sure. I don't think it really matters. I really don't think it matters. We got some output holes there, so possibly it's meant to go on this way. I don't really think it matters. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So, okay, and then in the meantime, the other ones we pulled out. So we have our driver's controls here. So that's going to go on the side like this. We're going to glue that in. And I believe it's like that. I think it's, I just got to make sure I get this the right way around, because when those are in place, I have to be able to sit this tray in here, which I can. What am I doing here? Let's just see. I want to make sure I get this in the right way. What am I missing? Oh, because I'm putting it in upside down, see? So that's got to be able to sit in there. I believe the driver controls, because I can put these in any way I want. It doesn't matter. Hey, William Nelson. So as long as I can lift that out with those greebles in there, I'm fine. Because I got to be able to lift that out to access all the electronics and everything. So these can go in this way, or I could put these in this way. I don't think it really matters, but I'm thinking that the fact that this looks like a joystick control knob, that maybe we want that facing towards the front of the Droid like that. So, do they have a 6-pack option? You know what? That's a mod that could be made. I'm sure, but hey. So let's get some CA glue. We are not going to use activator on this, so we're just gonna add some. I hate when that happens, when the bottom of the bottle opens but the top doesn't. Let's see if I can. It just means I got some glue on the top of the bottle. Hang on. Easy fix. Where's my other easy fix? Grab the bottle like this. And, oh, come on. Where's my other pliers? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, this will work. So we'll do that, and then we'll just grip this like this. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. So put some glue on this bad boy. Doesn't take a lot. Don't need a lot. I have 3 different viscosities of this CA glue, so this stuff is thicker. It'll work fine. And then we will just stick that in there. Put a little bit of pressure on it. And it's good. And we'll do the same on this one. Come on, flow. There we go. That's all we need. And stick him in there. Like so. Is the Droid held in via 6 magnets? No, the Droid itself in this case, on his base, he is screwed in via a single screw. So on the bottom of the Droid, there's a hole here with a little insert. Normally that is where the Droid's center foot goes. But in this case, we just screw through from the base with the screw up into the Droid, and he's just held in with the screw. That's all there is, yeah. With a single screw. Okay, the next two greebles are these back ones here. So we have the side ones here, and then these are going to go, so these have vents, and the vents go down. So that's going to go on the side like this. And then we have the other one that's going to go on the opposite side, same way. Again, with the vents facing down. And so this little square box goes up. I don't know what that's supposed to represent, but hey, I'm not questioning it. Okay, Nick 3DPD, hello, hello. Yeah, give me a thumbs up or 3. There we go. Sorry to the main body. No. Well, I'll show you how it goes on. I'll show you the other part. You might have missed when I showed the other part. It all comes together. So let's just get these couple greebles put on. I'll put that one on this side. Well, that tends to want to bounce out. It's got a little bit of spring to it. So let's just see if I can hold that in there for a few seconds. And maybe I should have used some activator on this. Maybe if I get some activator down that crack, it'll help. If I hold it in, let's just see about this just a little bit. There we go. If I just hold that in now. There we go. That activator just ran down a bit. So we'll turn this one over. And we'll get a bit of glue on this side. Okay, and I will spray it, just a little bit of activator on here. Not much. Make sure I get it lined up perfectly and the right way up. And just like that. And we'll just push to make sure that gets the activator. And that is in there. That is not coming out. There we go. These ones are still going to... No, these ones are drying there pretty quick. This CA glue dries pretty quick. Okay. Let's get this. Now the back one here, the older one had a couple screws in it. There's a couple screw holes, but this one here I'm just going to glue straight in just like this. So I'll just glue that in. So we will, I'm just thinking, I'm wondering if those are for LEDs, if that's, no, those are not LED holes, because this has holes in the back. I thought it might be for like some brake LEDs. But there's nowhere to run the wires out of that. So that would be cool though to put LEDs in there, because I have some little LEDs. Some of these little guys. That would look cool to have an LED light in there. I say some tail lights, but nah, we don't need that. Maybe down the road. I'll glue this one in very lightly so that if I really do want to pull it out. No, who am I kidding? No such thing as gluing it in lightly when you're using this kind of glue. Miter bond, CA, and active spray. I don't know. The gray wires, the flex cable type to bend in with the plastic. Possibly. There's no real way to run these though. There's no way to get back down to the electronics bay cleanly, so I'm not going to worry about it for these. The headlights I will. The headlights I'm looking forward to putting some lights on this thing. So we'll just do that. We'll spray a bit. The glue I'm using, the brand of the glue is, I bought it on Amazon. It's called 2P.10 Professional Wood Formula Adhesive. I don't even know, who actually makes that, but that's the CA glue I'm using. And the spray is, I got this at one of the local hardware stores. This isn't even the glue that this spray goes with, but it works with it, right? It seems to work with any CA glues. So just spray a little bit of that in there. And we will set that in. And that's in there, just like that. It's instant. Instant. But as I say, make sure when you're working with CA glue and activator spray and you're bringing them together that you are lined up dead on, because there's no mercy. No mercy at all. Ride or die. You just use the drill. Well, I did use the drill, but I don't want to mess it up. I don't need taillights on this thing. I really don't. There was no lights on it to begin with, and I'm going to have headlights go on it, so that's good. That's all. That's it. Okay, so we have the greebles in, and I like that I painted it, because even the paint color I use kind of matches the greebles a little bit. It's like a darkish red. It's actually called lipstick red, the red I use in the paint, and it kind of matches the greebles on the sides. So, yeah. It's going to get a taillight ticket. Yeah, for sure. Okay, and somebody was asking me about the seat and the driver. So what happens with this is now that we have this like this, the driver, this is the actual driver's seat that slides into here. It slides down there just like that. Okay, so this is this is sort of the whole, hang on a second here. This is heavy under that left arm. There we go. This is kind of the whole seat mechanism here now. Okay, and the actual driver droid, he sits in just like that. So he gets screwed with one little screw that's going to go through the bottom. Oh, I was supposed to screw him into this gray part before I screwed the gray part onto this part. So I got a step ahead of myself. So, but he's going to screw in. There's a little screw hole right here. He's just going to screw right into that little screw hole right there, just like that. But I forgot I had to do that before I put this and this on. So, but these are screwed in. These aren't glued in, so that's okay. My mistake. Okay. Oops. See what happens when I don't follow instructions, when I think, oh, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. Okay, we'll just put that glue away for a second so I don't spill it. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Oh, one more greeble I got to put in. Sorry. The little turbo engines here. There's one greeble that goes on top of this little turbo engine. And it is, where'd I put it? In here somewhere. There it is. Look at that. So we got to get the glue out again. But this is a little greeble that goes in top of this, and it's basically like a cutaway of that turbo engine, just like that. So I did that in white, silver, and red. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue it in. So we'll just put some little dab will do ya. Glue here. Come on, flow. There we go. Doesn't take much, just like so. And we'll put some activator on the top part. I'm going to do this over away from my piece. I don't want to activate the glue before I put the piece in, and then we'll just drop this in and boom. That is in permanently to stay right there, just like that. That's the turbo greeble. Okay. And the other one is just a closed thing. And then those are going to, the interesting thing about this one and the way this was designed is on the edge of these, we have alignment pins again, because there's holes on both sides of these, and these are just going to go sort of like that. So we're gonna actually glue them in as well using the alignment pins, and those will glue to the sides. Well, why don't we do that right now? What the heck? 3 round inserts for the mag and the base for the can holder for easy access to the motor's wire. 3 round magnet holes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right here, here, and here. Okay, I get what you're saying. Good point. And maybe there are. Maybe I'm... okay, I see what you're saying. So right here, here, and here to lift this up. I didn't put magnets in my last one. That's probably what they're for. I don't have magnets that big, but you're right. That's probably what they're for. And then when you set this in, those magnets hold it in place. But I never needed to use them last time because the weight of the driver and everything just sit in there. But, oh, okay, that's probably exactly what those are, is magnet holes. I'll have to check and see if I have magnets big enough for that. If not, I can always add them at a later time. Yeah, good point. Good point, Rick. I never noticed that before. That's because I never used them on the last build. So, go figure. Go figure. Okay, where did I put my alignment pin things that I used? I think I put them right here. So I have this huge little set of grub screws that I've been using for alignment pins, and they work kind of well. So it was, I believe it was this one I was using, and then I just screwed it into the piece so far, and then we do another one here, This particular one is a M3, M4 by 8 grub screw, which I don't really use for anything else, but and then we have that there. Now the problem I found is that I got to grab my little drill bit here because the alignment screw itself, or the hole in the other side, you notice I had to thread the grub screw into that, so I have to drill out the little bit on the other side for that grub screw to actually fit in and act as the actual alignment pin. So we'll tighten that up. And then I don't know which side I want to put what on. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters which side the open turbo goes on. Then we'll just drill this hole out with the same size bit that I did for the for that front bumper. And I'm just drilling these out so that the alignment pins will fit in that hole without having to thread them in. Oops. Tighten that down. Actually, I'm just going to pop that out. I'm going to put that in the actual drill. The drill works. So I didn't have my drill handy the other day. So I'll just pop this in here. And I'll carefully, there we go, drill that out. And then, there we go. Now, these should just go ahead and they should just slide in there. Nice and easy, just like that. So that is perfectly aligned, just like that. So now we can go ahead and add some glue to that. Hey John, how are you? Hey Ranch Kid. Okay, so let's get the glue out again. Thought we were done with the glue, but no, not done with the glue yet. I figure I may as well do this while I've got everything kind of out and I'm in a gluing phase. So we'll just put some CA glue on here. And again, make sure I've got the little bit of glue there. Make sure I aim those turbos the right way. We don't want one going front ways, one going back ways. Spray some activator on here. And we'll make sure that's going the right way. We'll get the holes aligned and then we will push them in and we'll hold it in place. And there we go. That is, oops, not quite. Hang on. And that is good. Not going anywhere. Okay, now we'll do the other one. Get some pins going in this one. First of all, let's just drill out these holes. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'll grab a couple more pins here. Get these in here. Okay, and one more. Okay, done with those. And as Brent said earlier, always dry fit. And boom, perfect fit just like that. Okay. We'll put some glue on. Droid go burr? No, not tonight. We're not even close. Not even close to that. We might have the wheels go burr when I test the speed controller. Okay, we got the glue there. Let's put the activator on this guy. And we got the engine going the right way. We line it up and we align the pins and we'll hold it in place. And that is stuck. So there we go. There's the back turbo mount that we're going to use on this guy, just like so. So that's done. Okay, that part's done for now. I got to figure out how to mount that on the whole thing yet. So there we go. Don't forget, guys, the Polymaker draw is open. Pinned to the top of the chat is the link. Go ahead and go to that link if you want to enter to win some Polymaker tonight. Watch my fingers. Yeah, I haven't glued my fingers all week, so it's been a while. Okay, I'm just going to pop out the instructions here and see. So we got the greebles. We're talking about the greebles. Now we're talking about putting the can assembly together. Can assembly, no problem there. That makes sense there. Bottom ones. And now we're talking about can assembly fits into the mainframe with 4 screws. Then we got the arms and the seat. Arms and the seat. We haven't put the head together yet. Putting the arms on the seat. Okay. We're doing okay. Okay, we're doing okay. But what I got to do real quick before I go too much further is I got to fix my mistake. I'm just going to quickly fix this mistake I made here. Where's my power driver? Where's my vroom? There it is, right here. Power driver. Just got to fix my mistake here real quick. And that is by taking this one off. There we go. Put that in there. Take these ones off. Hence why we don't glue some parts together. Oh, that's hard on the arm. Sorry, I've got to... There we go. Okay. Oh. Okay, so take that off. Here we go. This is the driver's seat. Driver's seat. Yeah. Sorry. Couldn't help myself. And I believe I want... What length do I want in here? Oh, no, that's got to come straight through. All right, I got to bolt that. I got to put a bolt in the other end of this because this is not a threaded hole here. See, things we remember. So I'm going to have to grab my drill. I'm going to drill that one hole through. It's got to be a 3mm. So we'll grab this. Is that my 3mm bit? 3.5, which I think is what I want. Oh no, 3mm. Hang on, 3mm. I don't have a 3mm bit, do I? Can't read that one. Yeah. Where is that smaller bit? This will work. It's just going to bolt them in place. So we're going to put this guy in here. Hey, Kilroy. Andrew Humphrey, hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to drill this hole through. There we go. That guy goes straight through. That's all we need there. Okay, get rid of all that. There we go. Now I got to take a bolt. Yeah, that's just a bolt hole basically for that one. So let me find myself in times of trouble. La, da, 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 da. Okay, sorry. I'll find one of these. Which one's going to be long enough? Doesn't really matter because it's not going to interfere with anything. This guy's going to go in. Plenty of length. But I got to come through the bottom there. So I think that's a 16. I think I can probably get away with a 12. Go with a silver 12, and I need a nut. I'm going to use a... Can I grab a nylock nut in there? I probably can. Get a nylock nut in there so that it doesn't come loose. Come on. Let's see. There we go. I think that'll work. I think that should be long enough. Such a bolt hole. I know I am. So we stick this through this hole, which is too small. So we're just going to drill that out. Put that in. Come on. Put him in his seat. Well, you're not nearly long enough. Okay, I gotta get a little bit longer. Oh, I forgot about the cutout on the thing there. Ah, I should have stuck with my original 16 millimeter. 16, ah hell, we'll just use a, yeah, 16 is gonna be plenty. 16 millimeter. Should be lots. And he sits in this way. Come on. Up the, there we go, up the hole. That's still not long enough. Son of the gun. What size did I use last time? I know, yeah, I could look at the instructions, but that'd be too easy. Here, let's use a 25. If this 25 isn't long enough, I'm stopping the stream. That should stick right up his Yahoo here. There we go. That's actually exactly what I needed, was that 25, so it sticks through there. Okay, now I need to grab my needle nose, and get this nut on the bolt. I'm sure this is how this is going to go. And let me first of all get my Allen, my hex wrench on the bolt, like that. And then let's get my nut. You know, life wasn't meant to be easy. Let's get this started. This is when you need 6 hands. Okay. Just got to get you started. I just want to get a thread or two started. Don't be difficult. There we go. And there we go. I just have to hold on to that guy. Somehow I don't think this is the way it was originally meant to go, but hell, this will work. Now if I can just hold on to that guy, I guess maybe I could have used the vice grips, but this should work. No, I think maybe I will. Vice grips aren't going to let me down. There we go. I said vice grips won't let me down. What does it do? It releases. There we go. Come on. And you're still not quite tight enough. There we go. Now he's in there. He is solid in his chair. There we go. Droids do have a bit mash mouth. Okay, so now this guy can go back on here. Okay. And we used these guys, so let's line these holes up. The blind lining up with the blind. There's that one started. That one started. Okay, let's put these in part way. Okay. Oh, can't do that. And to get this center hole lined up, I think it pretty much lined up on itself here. There we go. There we go. Okay, we are in our seat. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now I believe we're going to work on the can assembly. Then we're going to get the can assembly put in. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Actually, let's talk speed controllers, ESRs, ESCs right now, since we're going to take a little bit of a break here. My arm is getting very fatigued, sorry. So I just want to give it a bit of a rest. It's hurting. The battery's still going on the screwdriver. It is still. I haven't charged this yet from the last time. That's a good testament to that screwdriver. Okay, speed controllers. Speed controllers. So, let's see how close I can get this in so you guys can see this. I've had to repurpose some cameras here, so I don't have my little side camera anymore. But if I bring this one in right to here. So, the speed controller I used for the initial one was this one. I just want to see how easy that is to read. So this was a, sorry, got this weird angle for the camera. So it's a dual brushed ESC 2/3 cell 5 amp times 2 speed controller. That's what we had on the original one, this guy right here. Okay. I don't know the brand name, whatever. So the other ones I have at my disposal. I have another one, so if you look at the size, if you compare it, it's a little bigger, a fair bit bigger. This one is a dual brushed, unidirectional. The brand is Payne, which is what the first one is, Payne, P-A-Y-N-E, 2 to 4 cell 20 amp times 2. So this is a 20 amp times 2 speed controller right here. Okay. So with this, you have your power in, you have your servo, this is what I believe goes to power I think the yellow one is what's powering your transmitter. You have your transmitter wire, and then you have your on-off switch, which the other one did not have an on-off switch. Okay. Then on this end, you've got your motor plugs. These two motor plugs. Okay. I have another one that I realized that maybe I didn't realize that I had. I have another one from a brand called Citron. And it is a 10 amp 7 to 30 volt dual DC motor drive. Okay. And it looks like this. Okay, and I'll get that up close. That's my other option of a speed controller. So we have the power going into the green. We have the black ones on either side are our right and our left motor. And then back here, right here, we have our, which goes to the receiver or the transmitter, and it also powers the transmitter. And that is called an MDDRC10. Now this one, the specs on the back of this say that it is a 10 amp DC motor driver for RC dual channel. Right here. So I don't know if this will work in it. This should work in it, shouldn't it? I don't see why not, because they're 12 volt motors, right? Overkill. You say that's overkill? For some reason, I had 4 of these. I have 3 plus the one that's open there. For some reason, I brought in 4 of these. Probably because it was cheaper to buy by the carton. So overkill, but will it work? Or am I okay to go with this guy, which is the 20 amp times 2. And this guy is a 10 amp DC. So treadmill done. Hey, hey. Dual brushed unidirectional. This MDDRC is dual channel. Is it unidirectional? Let's see. I believe it is. So let's just to show you that one here that I'm talking about is this one right here. 10 amp, 7 to 3 for RC, 2 channels. This is the one here that I have, the big one. Looks like that. And like that. So we control right, left motor. We have the power going in and we go to the RC receiver. Left, right, front, back. So it should work. And that's, yeah, that's the one right there. I don't know why I have 4 of them. I don't recall paying that much money for them. I mean, that is pricey for a speed controller, right? But yeah, that's what I've got. So what do you guys think? I'm sure it'll work. I was just gonna hook it up and test it real quick, but so I can go with this. I got the original one, which is a small one. I've got this other one, which is a bigger one, and then I got this one, which is a bigger one. I have these 3 to choose from. So, and I have more than one of each. So that's sort of what I've been debating is which speed controller would work best. These ones are already nicely enclosed. There actually is a heat sink that came with this one that I can put right on top of this guy for a heat sink. This one here didn't come with a heat sink. It kind of just raises off the bottom of it. Now this one's bigger to fit in the electronic compartment. May need a voltage monitor and alarm. Oh, you mean like one of these? I have a voltage monitor alarm for my batteries right here. I have a bunch of these. So this is what gives me an alarm when the voltage is low. So that's another thing that I'm thinking of hooking up into here. The big ones might be more appropriate for a full-size ass. Yeah, probably. You know, I think this may be overkill. I think maybe if I go with this one here, which is the 20 amp times 2, that one might just be fine. This is the original one that I was using. So this one these were my motor plugs here. I had my power coming in, and then I had these going, and I don't even know how these were hooked up, but I had this going to the remote, or to the transmitter, these ones here. So I'm not even sure how these were wired, because this one looks a little bit differently wired. I always get confused as to how these things are supposed to be wired up, but Michael Baddeley does a good job of in the instructions for wiring of how these things should be wired up. So overkill is still kill. Yeah, yeah. So this one here, maybe I'll just stick with this one here. And that way we've already got the plugs built on the end. I can swap the plugs there. We already got the power plug built into this one. And then I've got an on-off switch if I choose to use it. I've got a kill switch for the whole robot, so it doesn't matter. Then I just have to figure out how I want to feed these things into the transmitter, because this one is obviously to power the transmitter. This is going to send that 5-volt signal to the transmitter, and this will send, I guess, the dual channel signal. I don't know. As I say, I don't know much about speed controllers. So there we go. There we go. So we've got that. That's it for speed controllers. Overkill is always okay. Yeah, but you know what? When we're dealing with a little bit of real estate here, if I zoom out a little bit here, we're dealing with the real estate in here. And when real estate is a precious commodity, we don't want to do too much. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the can lifter. So for the can lifter, we're going to need some servos. So we are going to be using, which ones were the servos for the can lifter? Let me see. Because we use four or five of these servos. This servo, I don't remember which one is for which. Yeah, we use four of these servos. Channel 6, these are already labeled. Channel 7, I believe these ones with the extra little wires, I believe these, I'm trying to remember why I've got these extra wires on these servos. Oh, they're just longer wires. I think these are for the arms. But I've got to check the instructions for the electronics on the can lift. Anyways, we'll figure that out. Let's just have a quick look at the instructions again. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to find the, where did I put his wiring instructions? They're right back here. So if I look, let me just look at the can lifter wiring. So for the motors, okay, that explains the motors and what we're doing as far as going to the channel 1 channel. I see, okay, so they're basically sharing. That's the reason we have those extra wires on the speed controller, is that they're sharing one channel. So it looks like the can lift is using channel 5 and channel 6. Oh, there's 3 for the can lift, so I'm missing a servo here somewhere that I've actually... Oh, right here, this little guy is for the can lift. This is lifting the lids. And then the bigger ones are lifting the cans, the actual cans, because the lid doesn't have any weight bearing on it, so we're using a smaller servo. Okay, so I think I've got them, I think I got the right servos for the can lift, and then these are the servos for the arm, and we're splitting the signal on the arm, hence why we're using those 2 pins, because those 2 pins are going to come into common. That makes sense. The arm servos have the split pins because we're splitting the signal for the arm so that we can make the arms do different things. Okay, okay, cool. At least I know which servos are which. Let me see what you're saying here on the ESC. Yellow is the steering channel wire. I think so. Yes, exactly. For the ESC, I believe. We'll get to that. I remember I needed a lot of help with when it came to all that and programming the Fly Sky when it came to getting it all wired up. But, you know, between you guys and me and my memory from what we did before, we should be able to figure it out. Okay, I'm going to need some servo tools here. We're going to need this and this. We're going to need these pieces, and we're going to need these pieces here. And is that it for the servos? I believe that's it for the can lifter servo parts. So we have 2 of these, we have 1 of these, we have 2 of these, and 1 of these. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look here at what we're going to do. So, why does it say 2 of these? Where is my other one? I'm missing some parts here. That's my can lifter. Of course I'm missing some parts. Or did I? Oh, I already pulled them out somewhere. I printed them all. I know that for a fact. I knew I did. I better not be missing parts. My desk is a mess. Let's find those other parts. There's a set of them missing. Where's that other piece gone? Did I possibly put it in this bin? Nope. Let me just have a quick peek here. There it is right there. I knew I printed them both. So I believe that's all the parts I need for that. And then we're going to need these things here because we're going to do a bit of gluing. Okay, what's that link for, Jerry? I'm just curious what that link is for. Let me have a look at that link Jerry posted. I'm curious. He's got me curious. Well, let me just see. Oh, for that. Holy crap. Okay, I'll look at that later. Look at that later. Caesar's Palace jump. Ooh, no. I'll look at that later. Oh, okay. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to the instructions. Okay, so we got those. So, okay. Oh, we're kind of missing something. Okay, so I know that we need to glue. We have this, and we are going to put. Where's the other one? I'm still missing parts. Pretty sure this guy goes in here like this. Let's just make sure. And this guy, there should be another one of those. I have lots of servo parts if I'm happen to be missing one, which it looks like I might just be missing one piece here. It's possible that I couldn't get it out unglued from the other part, and that I broke it when I tried to take it out and get it unglued, but let's just see. Okay, so that part, okay, so let's just see. So the lid and tank and door, okay, so this has got to go in face down. Why do I think that went in face up? So that's got to go in face down like that, but that does not want to fit. Okay, let's go grab my other servo parts. It could be these things they don't seem to have excess glue, but it might be interfering with a good fit. Let me just read this here. Take the lid and door servo linkage, create an end stop on a piece of TPU or nylon filament using soldering iron, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that one's no problem. Okay, he's kind of jumping ahead here. Sorry, he doesn't have the instructions aren't the clearest. So I'm not blaming the instructions. Can lift assembly. First remove the two support struts on the rear top of the servo bracket. Okay, servo bracket. These are thin supports to eliminate slicer supports and can be clipped out with side cutters, leaving the upper and lower bracket with holes for servo screws. Okay, have I got the wrong ones? No, that's not going to go in there. Or do I? Hang on a second here. Maybe I do have the wrong one. Well, that's the correct one. Okay, I'm going to go grab my servo bin and grab my other pieces. I think I'm missing the proper pieces here. I'm just trying to remember. 2P10. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab my servo kit here. Something's awry. Okay. This bin, it's full of servos. Well, not full, but it's got some servos in it. Let me see, and I had some servo parts over here. Okay. Okie doke. Let's see what I got here. There's all the leftovers. Let's see if I got it in here. Let's see. It's not that. I don't want to have to open a new package. because I know I don't have enough servos to replace them all. There's another one of those. It's not that one. Da, da, da. Play amongst yourselves. Okay, here's another brand new package. Let's see what comes with this one. We don't need the servo. Let's dump this out. Okay, it's not in there either, or is it's not that one? It's this piece I'm looking for right there, that little piece. It's not the right. Huh. Probably should have taken a picture or two before I took the other one apart. It's okay, I'll find it. It's a black piece, which really helps. But I'm wondering if I can get away with a white one too. Because I got lots of spare servo mount things here. I can't find that one specific piece it's asking for. Okay, let me look in here. Yes, Jerry, that would be too easy. Okay, here, we're getting somewhere here. There's the piece I think I'm looking for right there. I did take a few. I think, let's just put this down here. I think this is the piece. That is the piece. Why is it not fitting? Or am I supposed to actually put it that way right there? I think maybe that's the way it goes because it fits in perfectly right there. Okay, well let's assume that's going to be correct. Do I have another one of those? Yes, I do. See, these are off the little servos though, but we're using the big servos. But as long as it'll fit on the big servo, I guess that's all that matters. Okay, let's just see. No, it doesn't fit on the big servo. Oh, it's because it's the lifter we're doing right now, not the... Oh, Tim, you're so silly. Okay. Okay. Brain fart. Brain fart. We've all had brain farts, right? Let's pick up these little screws. Put these all back in here. Okay. Let's put this down. Ah. Okay, there we go. I know what I'm doing now, trust me. Okay. First we're going to work on the lifter assembly. You know, it's my own fault. You know why? I'm looking for two of these, but in my defense, I printed two pieces when I only needed one because I print spare pieces. Okay. Okay, so this goes this way. Take the M90 servo and two screws provided. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna let's get this guy here. The lid itself, let's put the servo in first. And here's the servo for this, and this guy goes, this wire comes through this way, and the servo goes in this way, like this. And this should slide nicely into place. Why aren't you? Why aren't you sliding into place? The 90S. Come on. That is not, shouldn't be that tight. Oh, is those supports? Was I supposed to remove those? Is those two supports there? It doesn't show them on the drawing. No, that's, oh, okay, let's just see. Blah, 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 hang on. Screw these in the frame shaft, then take it. Okay, I just got a text here, hang on. Okay, let's see. I think I'm supposed to clip those off. I think I'm supposed to clip those off. So let me take a breather. Just gotta take a breather for a second here. My arm is killing me and it's affecting my thinking. I just need to take a breather. And I gotta take a pain med when I'm done here. Okay. Okay, I just wanna have a look at this. Okay, that I believe I use screws to hold that in. It says to use filament. It says to use filament for these for the lifters, but I don't know if I used filament last time. Let's see if I have a piece of filament around. If it's tight, you gotta keep her. You guys are funny. Okay, I gotta grab a piece of filament. Where's my snippers? Does he specify what I want? TPU or nylon? TPU or nylon? Interesting. Interesting choices. Let's see, do I have some TPU open here? I got some black TPU right here. Let's just cut it off the roll. I'll just use that. Oh, Maria says she's watching me from Florida. Hello, love. Okay, let's see if I can get the... Oh, I just have to slow down. See if I can get the TPU through here, and I can get the TPU right there, and that's just going to control the hinge. So that's what we need to do there. So now I just need to kind of... For now, I'm just going to leave that hanging, just like that. Okay. I can worry about burning those ends off in a minute. Take the link in the door servo linkage, create an end stop and a piece of TPU or nylon filament. Use a soldering iron as described on the previous page. There was nothing on the previous... Am I missing some pages? Oh. Oh, I see what he's done here. Okay. Do I have a soldering iron handy? Yeah, I do, but I don't want to bring that whole big thing out here. And that's, I don't want to melt plastic with that one. Let's see if I have another soldering iron. I have another soldering iron somewhere. I have a spare. It's my backup. There it is. There it is. I have this half-broken soldering iron that I can use. It's got a heat insert tip on it, but I can just take the heat insert tip things off because I don't use this one for heat inserts anymore. I just throw them aside and I can plug this one in. Hopefully it still works. And I can melt one into this TPU. Turn it on. I'll assume the temperature control's busted on this. I don't know what happened to it, so I think it's turned up. But I can always, I guess, just take 12 tweezers. Let's see. Possible that I can electrocute myself on something like this by using some piece of foreign metal object to attempt to turn up the temperature. I don't know. It's just busted right off of here. Anyways, we'll see how hot this gets. This has got to be hot enough to melt the end of the TPU here. Is it heating up? Yeah, it's heating up. My Fantic soldering iron. Yeah, I could pull that one out too. But I don't want to, this is just going to, there we go. We're going to ball that tip up. There we go. And we'll just get that a little more of a ball tip. There we go. So it's just sort of flatten the tip of that. I don't want to burn TPU with my good soldering iron. Whoops. Blow that cold. There we go. And that kind of stops that from pulling through. And then if I just kind of come in the other end here and try not to melt my actual container and block that like that. Oof, oof, TPU fumes. Oof, don't breathe them in. And that's probably fine. There we go. So that's fine. TPUs are, it's blotted on both ends. It's not going to fall out. There we go. That worked. I'm going to leave this just in case I need to, oh, wrong plug. In case I need to do something else with it. Keep this little piece of TPU because I think he wants me to do the same thing on the main hinge. So, which is this piece right here. This little piece right here. We're going to put one of these TPU pieces through here. Okay, so we're going to repeat that procedure. Okay. This is the high-tech stuff when you're using melted plastic as your end cap. Okay, so we'll melt this tip. Get a flattened out tip there. Minimize breathing in the fumes. Okay. And I'll cut this piece off like so. And we'll put the hinge, so this goes so that the little doomer thingy bump on this, there's a little doomer thingy bump that goes to the left. So this goes through like this, and like this, and like this. Okay. And then without melting my plastic, we will melt the TPU piece off here again, like that, and we'll, there we go, bubbleize the end of it. Whoa! Dropped a hot soldering iron on my lap. Never a good thing to do. Aye. TPU. Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, man. That was close. Here, let's just put you on the floor over there. Stay there. Stay out of the way. Okay, there's that secondary hinge right there. So basically what's going to happen with that is that this is going to end up pulling, so the servo is going to end up pulling down on this piece, which is going to be the door controller, just like that. Just like so. Pull the plug. I pulled the plug. Oh, the plug is pulled. Oh, the first thing I did was pull the plug. Oh, but that was like talk about panicking. Yeah, it's going to go for my lap. I'm panicking, trust me. Why is there a pen leaking in my pocket? No, it's not. Don't go there. Okay, next. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, the MG90 servo. So it looks to me like these little things here get cut off. Self-tap into the smaller servo horn assembly, noting the countersunk hole side for the bolt head. Next, take the M315 countersunk bolt and self-tap this into the smaller servo horn assembly. Okay, the smaller servo horn assembly. I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing here. Okay, so noting the countersunk hole side for the bolt head. This protruding bolt fits into the servo linkage on the can door. Okay. Oh, I see what we're doing. Okay, I think I see what we're doing here. Let's just see. Yeah, okay, so what we're wanting to do is take the M3 by 15 millimeter, and let's see which one that is. I think that's this one. 15 millimeter, right here. This is going, oh, so this has got to be glued in here first. I've got to glue this servo. No, this doesn't make sense. Hang on a second here. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's the right way. Just like that. And like that. Okay. I think we're doing okay here. I think I got this right. Okay. Okay, and then, so we got to glue this guy into here, but for some reason his picture makes it look like it's sitting flat, but I don't believe that that's the case. So we're going to try one. We are going to try this. So the one that was in there before, yeah, that is right. Okay, so I think I used CA glue on this last time. I am not 100% sure, but we're going to try it. I'm going to use a little thinner CA glue this time. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to, because this has a control needle nozzle on it. Okay, and then we're going to just put some in here. This stuff flows almost as viscous as water, so I got to just control what I do here. Okay, and then we're going to put some activator on the back of this one. And we're going to drop this in and let that harden. I think that's going to work. And oops, it's not quite going to work. I think I ended up using hot glue on the top of this to hold it in too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we'll just let that sit for a second. Let me grab some hot glue. Let's do the hot glue trick too, as well. And then what's going to happen is this. We have a countersunk screw that's going to go through. Is that an M3? Yeah, these holes need a little bit of reaming, but that M3 screw is going to go through here. It's going to go through here, and we're going to be bolting that onto here on the other side. Does it show a bolt? Not really. But it doesn't self-tap, that's for sure. Did I have a bolt on this one last time? I don't think so, but we should be okay. But I'm pretty sure I had to cut, yeah, I'm pretty sure these break, yeah, these do break off. Like that. There we go. Those are just built-in, self-built-in supports for this. That's all that was. Okay. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll grab that little servo again. And then this little guy went in with the top up like that. Okay. And my little servo screws, it's these guys here. And no, not those ones. Where are my servo screws? I had a tray right here. I think these are the ones I'm looking for, right here. And those are little Phillips screws. So I got to grab my little miniature kit. So many tools required. Another half hour or so, we'll do a filament draw from Polymaker, a Polymaker draw. So if you haven't entered the Polymaker giveaway yet, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Go ahead and enter, and we'll do a draw soon. We'll do a draw soon. Now, where did I put that first little screw I took out? Did I put it back in here? Maybe I did. So this should go in, and this should screw in here. That seems a bit long. Maybe it's the shorter ones for this one. And we're going to use our little servo tester. Yeah, there we go. So this is the right one for this. There. And where's the other one? There it is. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. And there's that servo in place. How's our glue holding? Let's see. Do I need to get the... Yeah, I think I need to get the... yeah, that glue. For some reason, that CA glue is not working at all. No, not at all for these pieces. It must be the material that this this plastic servo piece, so it's that little plastic piece that goes in there. It must be the material that's not allowing the CA glue to stick in there. So I'm going to go grab the hot glue gun. And we're going to have to glue that in. But basically what's going to happen is we got a linkage here that's going to link up here and between the servo, and then when as the servo turns, it opens the can. But we have to test the servo and yada, yada, yada. Let me get the hot glue gun. Move it on my way, hot soldering iron. I got to get a glue stick. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think I can get away with the small hot glue gun for this one. So we'll just grab this hot glue gun. There's a small one. And there's the glue stick that goes in it. Oh, hello guys. So there we go. Let's just get this unwrapped. Plug her in. And power it up. And then we're running out of glue sticks, so we got to put this, there we go. So we're going to put that one in there. That should last me, that should get me through this build. What do you think? Okay, that should work. Okay, let's put that glue over there. Let's put that glue over there. Let's grab this. Let's grab 2 new pieces because I might have mucked up that last one. So we'll just let this thing heat up. Where's a scrap piece of something? Let's see. I don't have any scrap paper. Oh, I got a scrap piece of wood. Let's take a scrap piece of wood that I don't care if I get any glue on. Okay. What do you mean overkill? Overkill? Are you crazy? That's a nice glue gun. No such thing as overkill. Come on. It just takes a little bit to heat it up. I'm getting fatigued. Let's have a drink of water. It's water. Clear, clean water. 30 or 40 cloves of garlic. What are you talking about? Okay, the glue is starting to flow. Let it heat up a little bit more. Let's get some glue in there. Let's see if I can push this in. Oh, no, too late. Glue hardened too much. I gotta let it heat more. Okay, let's pop that out. Okay, I gotta let it soften a bit more. Harden just a little too much, too fast. Okay, it's all about timing. Get the glue in, get the piece in as fast as I can. We're gluing just as fast as we can. Okay, glue, piece, push it down. That is hot on the finger, trust me. Oh, stringy, stringy. I think that might be good. I think that might just be good. It's not moving around nearly like the CA glue did. I think that worked. Get the excess off. Yep, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, let's just for now, let's put this piece of wood over here. We'll leave this on just for now in case I need it again. Okay, so now I needed an M3 screw, so I got to drill that hole a little bit bigger, and I need another nut so that I can screw this into here, but I've got to put it on the servo first. But let's just see if I got to test the servo before I do that. Screwed in the frame. Then take a servo tester or connect to an RC rig, and with the lid shut, spin the servo fully counterclockwise. Fit the servo horn assembly with the pin to the linkage. Okay, so next, take the MG90 servo and using 2 screws provided, screw this. Okay, am I ahead of myself here? No, hang on. We got that in there. Okay, servo tester. We have a servo tester right here. Now, we have to power the servo tester with something, don't we? 4.8 to 6 volts. So I need a 5 volt power something to power this servo tester. What's my positive? My positive and my negative. I wonder if I can get away. Okay, let's just see if I can get away with this. Positive on the positive one. It's not much room to work with here. Negative on the negative one. No, those are touching. Okay, there. Those aren't touching now. Let's get this around here. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, let's just get this over here. Here we go. Okay. Now, power to the servo. No, those are still touching. I got to do something a little better than that. Servo wire. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Do I have a spare servo wire, though? That's the question. Do I have a spare servo? I have some servo wires somewhere. Hang on 1 second. Oops. I think I have servo wire in this, what I call mess of a mess. I should have some servo wire here. There we are. Is this what I'm looking for? No, but that'll do. That'll do. Okay, this'll work. All I need is a red and a black or something. Actually, red and brown will be fine. So red, we'll make red the positive. Brown the negative. They're like that. And then, okay, let's just see. And then if I go ahead and cut these wires, let's see if these will grab. That might just work there. That way I don't have to destroy these pins, and that might just, I think that's going to work right there. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Then if I plug my servo into the other side of this, which way goes where? Servo plus minus, so that's going to be this way. Let's power this on for 5 volts. And we are at 5 volts. Nope. I got the servo in backwards, I think. There we go. Nope. Or does it go this way? Nope. First time using one of these? Yep. No, I've used the servo tester before, but I'm just not sure. Out, S plus minus, servo plus minus. Which is the plus or minus in this? I'm going to guess that the brown is the minus. So I'm going to guess that the yellow, the orange is the control wire. No, nothing happening. Did I blow the servo? Let's try a different servo. Control wire this way, like this. Okay, that's working. Okay, maybe I blew the servo. Maybe I blew the servo by having it plugged in backwards. Yeah, is it possible to blow a servo? I'm sure it is. Let's grab another one and see. I think we're alone now. Okay, let me grab another little servo. I got lots of those, I think. That's that little purple one. I know I have another one. This one right here. I got the same one, 90S, MG90S. Let's plug this one in the right way. Now that I know that the yellow is the signal wire, brown is negative, and the red or orange is the positive. Plug that in the right way, power it up. Yeah, I blew the servo. That's working, that's working, that's working. Okay. Okay, so that's right. So yeah, this one, if I plug it in, yeah, I think I blew the servo. Yeah, must have. Okay, so let's just quickly switch them out. Now that I learned my lesson. Hey, I had a 50-50 shot, right? When you think about it, it was a 50-50 shot that I got that in the wrong way and I happened to screw it up. Pucker. Oh God, you guys. Okay. So you servo are gone. Out with the old, in with the different. Okay, don't blow this one. Who knew servos were polarity dependent? Well, I just learned they are. Okay, and the second screw. There we go. Okay, let's test this one. Make sure we do this right this time. There we go. Let's power it on. And that's a good sound. Okay, we'll power that off. Now, what do we want to check for? So let's just make sure. Next, take the MG90 servo, take a servo tester or connect to an RC rig, and with the lid shut, okay, with the lid shut, spin the servo fully counterclockwise. Fit the servo horn assemblies counterclockwise. Okay, let's make sure we're counterclockwise. That is counterclockwise fully. Let's turn this off. Okay, let's unplug the servo for now. Next, fit the servo horn assembly with the pin in the linkage and test the opening mechanism and servo position so you can fully open and close the lid. Okay, so we pop this on. Okay, so let's just see. This is going to go on, but what position is that going on though? Okay, so we're going on like this. Let's get that out of the way. This is going in like that. This is getting screwed into here. Okay, so now I just need to, get that screwed into the hole over here. I need to get that screwed in right there. Okay, so I believe that I needed to drill that hole out. Let's get this out of here. Come on. There we go. I got to drill this little hole out here to an M3. Well, it's an M3 screw, but it's definitely not going to fit in there. Take an M315 countersunk bolt, self-tap this into the smaller servo horn assembly, noting countersunk hole for the side of the bolt head. This protruding bolt fits into the servo link. Okay, so self-tap it into this hole. Okay, 15 millimeter right here. Self-tap it into the hole. Okay, where's my driver? Let's turn this heat gun off, or this hot glue melt gun off before I do something I'm going to regret. Okay, and then let's self-tap this into this hole. Like this. Okay, yeah, we want to self-tap it so it doesn't rotate. Just like that, because we don't want that rotating. Okay. Now, this goes into this hole. This goes into here like so. There we go. So we have this in place just like this. Now, let's get the servo tester out. Again. Now, this should, plug this in, make sure I get it right. Turn the power on. There we go. It works. Fully open, fully closed. Could use a bit of adjusting, so it could use a little bit of adjusting. Stop talking back to me. Okay, stop talking back to me. Could use a tiny bit of adjustment on the closing. So when it's fully closed, that needs to be... Okay, that's a bit of an angle. See, there's something not lined up quite correctly here. So let's pop this off. Okay, let's pop this out of here. And it's that thing that's got to be the other way around. That's definitely what's going on here. I got something backwards here. Let's try something here. This is supposed to go. Okay, what? Something is going on weird here. This is not sitting in there. I'm just thinking, because that is sitting in there like that, but that is protruding too far. I wonder if I need to trim. Where'd that piece just go? I just had... I'm not happy with the way something's moving there. So, this guy here, I think I got to cut a little bit off of that, because that is... Oh, see, that's the hot glue moving a little bit. But that is still in there pretty tight. But this little lip, it's protruding too far out, and I'm not able to stick it right fully solid on that without causing a little bit of an angle there. And I think that's causing the lid not to close fully. So Let's just see, that's got to go in order for that to be lined up like that. Yeah, that's definitely, I definitely have to trim some of this off, and on the diagram it shows nothing sticking out there. But yet, see, this is what's confusing me. But yet I can't put it in this way. It doesn't go in that way, and it definitely doesn't go in this way. Okay, so let's try my next theory. It's a good thing I have lots of spare parts. I'm going to grab my knife. Here's a chance for some blood. So here we go. Chance for blood. There we go. There's that. Let's just go ahead and slice a little more. There we go. A little more. A little more. Okay, so we thinned that out a bit. There we go. Okay, let's reset the servo. Let's reset the servo to where it was. Okay, power it on. All the way closed. Okay, take that off. And the can is closed, so now we will pop this in here. Pop this on here. Still not fitting the best. Okay. Okay, we're still not fitting the best. That hot glue is giving out too. Hot glue is giving out. I hear you, Waylon. Okay, if I could just get that to stay in there. Like that. Like that. Let me re-glue this. Oh, it's not inserted backwards. Oh, the servo horn will get screwed into the servo when all is said and done. It definitely will. You just got to re-glue this in. Fortunately, this glue pops right out. Or it should pop right out. I will just use the other one. Let's just use this one. So that's going to sit like this. We have to, it's got to go in this way because it screws into the servo horn from the back side here. Okay, so that should be okay if I get that one glued in like that. Let's just trim a tiny bit more off of this. I don't recall doing this in the last one, but the last one fit better. If it works, right? That's the main thing. Okay, that feels hot enough. I'm just going to get the glue gun going here. Put this in like so. Okay, I think that's going to work better. Okay. Oh, for goodness sake, come on, line up. Doesn't want to line up. Okay, let me try something different here. Let me try something else. Something's not right here. I'm doing something wrong for sure. Okay, I'm doing something a bit wrong here. Just give me a second. I'm actually kind of, my arm's hurting and I'm not thinking straight, but just let me try one more thing here and then we'll do the draw. Heck, you know what? Let's do a draw now. Let me just take a bit of a break and we'll do a draw. So if you haven't entered to win the Polymaker, there's a link at the top of the chat. I'll give you a couple seconds. Go ahead and enter. You just need your email and your YouTube name. And I'll do a draw in about 30 seconds here. So you got about 30 seconds to go ahead and enter while I get a refreshing drink here. Actually, I'll go fetch the code, which I should have by now. And I'll get the email ready to go. And then when I'm done that, I'm going to go ahead and close the draw. The arm checked out is, I think, the 23rd of this month is when I go in for my appointment. I've had to wait a fair bit, so. Okay, I'm just going to go in and get the names for the draw. Did my code come in yet? Yeah, my code came in. There it is there. I'll get the email ready and then I'll go close the draw and we'll do the draw. Okay, copy that. Let's get my email done, ready. Here we go. And paste the code in here. There we go. Okay, that's ready to go. And I'm going to go close the draw now. If you haven't entered, you've had the whole stream to enter. So I'm going to slowly go and close the draw. Okay. In 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Oh, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, closed. Okay, we're going to grab the respondents, download the CVS, CSV, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go grab the downloaded CSVs, which stands for comma separated value. I'm going to check for double entries. Anybody double entered? You are out of here. Sort data. Sort by column B. And let's just check for double entries. No double entries. You guys are really good. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Okay. Awesome. No double entries. Whoops. Select them all. Copy the names, YouTube names, Command C. Oh, come on. Ugh. Hot glue on my fingers. Okay, minimize this and bring the screen back up. Bring me back up. Here I am. CS can't stand vodka. You've never won here, Jerry? Okay. Let's go ahead to the
Polymaker giveaway.
Go back to the giveaway. Last week's entries are still there, so I got to get rid.
Polymaker giveaway.
Don't worry, this is
all the answered names get to play. Count it down, shout it out, don't be late. Time for the Polymaker giveaway.
Get rid of last week's entries, and first of all, we're going to go to the dice board. Okay, this is how the dice board works, guys. First roll is the number of times I'm going to mix the list up. Second roll is the number of seconds I'm going to spin the wheel for. So let's go. Let's do a roll. This is the number of mix-ups. Oh, that's a lot of them. 33 mix-ups. Okay, 33. And the next one is how long I spin the wheel for. 24 seconds. So 33 and 24. Here we go.
The Polymaker giveaway. All the answered names get to play. Count it down, shout it out, don't be late. Time for the Polymaker giveaway.
Paste the names in. 33 mix-ups. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to spin. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. 24 second spin. Who's the winner going to be? And you got to be in chat. You got to say something in chat to win. That goes without saying now. You guys all know the rules. And the winner of Polymaker for today's stream is going to be, drum roll. Yet another Dan. Yet another Dan. Woohoo! Yet another Dan. Are you in chat? Yet another Dan. Yet another Dan. Are you here? Yet another Dan. Say something, yet another Dan. Yet another Dan. There you are, yet another Dan. Congratulations, yet another Dan. I am going to go ahead right now. I am going... What did you say? Hey, I already won spin again. Did you win last time, Dan? You want me to spin again? I can do that. Yeah? Just say yes, yet another Dan. If you want me to spin it again, I will. Just go ahead and say yes. I'll just watch for you in chat. You just want to hear the song again. So you want me to spin it again? Because you already won one? Okay, we'll spin it again. Yet another Dan is going to give up his win, and we're going to spin again for a new winner. Okay, here we go. He just wants to hear the song again.
The Polymaker giveaway. All the answered names get to play. Count it down, shout it out.
So we will go ahead and we will clear the winner. No, we'll just spin it again. Chances we'll shuffle it a couple times, and we'll do another 24-second spin. Here we go for the second winner. If you come up again, you better buy a lottery ticket. That's all I can say. Or people will yell, fixed, fixed. Here we go. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, and the new winner is... Wiki Central, Wiki Central, congratulations. Wiki Central, say something in chat. Wiki Central, say something in chat, sir, and I will send you the winning code. Rigged, he said, rigged. Because Wiki Central was so nice and said, just take it, but now he wins it, see? Wiki Central, say something real quick, come on. I know you're there. You're in the exact same spot. Well, I don't control the mix up of the wheel. LOL, let Dan have it. Okay, okay, so okay, I see what you guys are doing here. Dan didn't want it. Dan said spin again. Wiki Central won it. Wiki Central said let Dan have it. So Wiki Central, have you won? Wiki Central, you haven't won in a while. So why don't we give it to you? Yeah, that counts for Wiki. No, play the song again. I'll play the song again, but I'm giving the prize to Wiki. Wiki, you won it. Okay, Dan said to spin again. You spun again. I'm not going to argue here. You got to take it. Okay. I'll play the song again, but Wiki's going to get it. Okay, right here. I'll play the song again, then we're coming back.
The Polymaker Polymaker giveaway. Hey! All the answered names get to play. Hey! Count it down, shout it out, don't be late. Time for the Polymaker giveaway.
Okay. I'm going to send it to Wiki. I twisted your arm. Here we go. Let me find the sheet. www. Where is Wiki Central? Oh, right there. And there's your email. I'm going to highlight, Tim. Copy. Copy. Minimize. Bring up the email. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Not the Microsoft Store. I don't want to go to the Microsoft Store right here. We're going to paste it in. Paste it in. And Wiki Central, it is on its way to you, Wiki Central. You should have it in the flash of a cat's two shakes of a cat's tail. You should have it. There we go. Kids love dancing to that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, well, you won it. You got it, Wiki Central. It's on its way to you. Congratulations. Thank you, Dan, for giving that up. And Wiki Central, I'm sure, thanks you, Dan, as well. And I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to do that. Very, very nice of you to do that. So you go ahead, you'll get a $35 US or $45 Canadian gift card from Polymaker. If you're anywhere else in the world, you will be able to get a spool of filament. So good job, good job, good job, good job. Wiki Central, the nitwits have spoken. There you go. We have spoken. Okay, let's go back to this. I kind of screwed something up here, I think. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm trying to be very patient and with everything going on. And yeah, so I've got to try one more thing. Fortunately, I have spare parts here, and I just have to dig some hot glue out of this one, because I think I had it right to begin with. I think it was the way I was putting it in onto the lifter that was causing me the issues, and I've spent far too much time trying to resolve that, and I should be further along in the build, but it is what it is, and I'll stay on here for a little bit longer. Let me just get this hot glue out of here. I'm pretty sure I had it right the first time. I didn't need to trim what I trimmed. It's just a little confusing when I look at the instructions, because the instructions, the way they show it, it's going in backwards so it fits the other way, but yet it wouldn't hook up correctly to the servo if I did it that way. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it looked like when I took it out. But again, it's one of those little things I should have taken a picture of, and I didn't. So it's a little bit of a hit and miss for me, but that's okay. Where's my, there they are. I was just looking for these little pliers. Okay. Did you miss the roll for when DeWitt will take his pain meds? Yeah, right. Your cat is next to you wiggling his tail. Well, you should have got the email by now. Okay, come on. I got to get this out of here without cutting my hand. This glue actually sticks in there pretty good. I don't want to have to print this piece again. That's the only thing. Okay, but I think I know what I did wrong. Oh, wow, that one stuck almost too good. Let's see if this one comes out a little easier. Yeah, this one. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this one I think is going to be a little easier to contend with. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I know what I need. I know what I need. I need a sharper tool. I need something sharp, really sharp and pointy, like this, that I can point down towards my fingers. No, always put your fingers away from where you're pointing the real sharp and pointy tool. And I know that's less fun, but it is. Kids out there watching, it's safer. Learn from your parents' mistakes. Always cut away from your extremities. And never drop hot soldering irons onto your lap. And try not to have to dig hot glue out of a printed piece, because my goodness, especially when you're using industrial strength glue. Is that going to come out? Oh man, I hope I can get this back in. Oh, come on. I'm using every potential sharp knife I have in my kit here. I'm basically using everything, trying to not draw blood. I don't want to reprint this piece. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Is there a pool going out there as to whether I'm going to cut myself or not? Man, I can't believe I did that. I just can't believe I did this. I may just have to move on to something else if I can't get this out, because I'm getting very, very, very impatient with this. And impatience is what sometimes causes mistakes and accidents to happen. Okay. I have totally four-letter worded this up, I think. The one time I wish I would have printed 3 spares. Yeah, I can't get that out. I can't get that glue out. Wow. Once that glue sets in there, it wants to stay. Oh, I think I got a breakthrough. Once that glue sets in there, it wants to stay. I got a heat gun? Yeah, I do. That's what I should really try. Let's see if I can soften it. I'll pull the heat gun out. I didn't want to pull the heat gun out, but if I got to, I got to. Oh, gosh. Where is the heat gun? Where did I put the heat gun last time? Right here. Then go back to it later. Let's see if this will work. Heat gun on. You can see the red glowing. Let's see if this will loosen it up enough that I can clean it out without melting the part. Although it is carbon fiber PETG. Ouch. Well, it definitely softened it up a bit. Okay. Ouch. Okay. We're getting there. See? Somebody said you got a heat gun, and that just, you get so involved in things, some things just don't cross your mind. Okay. Did I get that out enough? I think I did. I think I got it out enough. I think I did. Oh man, I got no room to put my heat gun down. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's get that piece back in there. Okay. Thank you for the heat gun suggestion. I was too hyper focused on something else, and I never would have thought of that at this point in time. Okay, now let's just see what I think I was doing wrong here. There we go. That's what I think I was doing wrong. Now let's have a peek at this. See what this does now. Okay, we're close. We're close. Try that. Nope. There. Okay, we're going to try this. There we go. That is working the way it should. That satisfying clunk means it's closed all the way. So if we look at it from the side, there we go. Working. So now, aha. Now I can go ahead and I can secure the servo doomer thingy to the servo doomer thingy by using this tiny little servo doomer thingy screw. Right here, goes in here. Like that. There we go. And I don't even have to put a nut on the end of that part right there. So I'll show you how that happens close up. Show you how that works close up. These little servo testers are awesome, actually. That way you don't have to actually hook up to an actual RC. So when that opens, it just pushes down on it. Just like so. There we go. Okay. Yay! I got something right. Target fixation, that's true. Okay, let's turn that heat gun off for a second. Actually, I got a couple other things to glue in there too. So, okay, so that's in there. We got that can servo fixed. Oh, finally. Now we get to put the servos on the bottom for the can lifters. Anybody sticking around still? 33. Oh, it looks like we lost 20 people since I did the giveaway. That just tells me that there's a lot of people that come on the stream just for the giveaway, which is okay. Plus, I am running a little overtime. Well, not really compared to my usual time, but I was struggling a bit. And that, you know, some people be frustrated watching me struggle, but hey, it's live and it's a reality. It's a reality. Okay. So that part is where we finished off right there. Still here, still here. Yeah, I see the ones that are still here. That's fine. That's all right. I have tough skin. I can take it when somebody leaves me because they think I'm boring. Okay. This part goes up like so. That goes on there like this. So this part's going to screw into this side like this. And we are using, what size bolts are we using? M3 by 10 millimeter. M3 by 10s. So let's get my M3 by 10s out of here. I'll keep going till about 7 o'clock or until there's nobody left watching. I'm okay with that. M3 by, that's an 8. M3 by 10. No, it's close to a 10. Yeah, that's a 10. No, that's an 8. That's an 8. Where's my M3 by 10s? Maybe I just have to grab a couple out if I have any. Nope. M3 by 10 countersunks. Oh, there they are. Here's some. M3 by 10s. Let's see. Whoa! Dude, you just dropped a whole bunch of your loose screws. Okay. So this one, these ones, I find some of them are tough because we got to come on this side and we've got to put one of these in here like so. But it is really, as you can imagine, hard to get at that screw hole that you can see in there. So this is where I kind of, I remember struggling with this last time. I don't know if you recall, Jerry, on this build, but to get the screwdriver in at an angle and do that. So I'm going to try, I don't know how well this will work by hand, but I've got this little flexi thing here. And I do believe I have the correct size hex driver on this kit. Let's just see, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one here. So we'll see if I can actually get this at least started in here with this. See, it's not easy. This was not easy to do. You're supposed to be watching? No, you don't have to be watching questionable choices. Not at all. Okay, so let's see if I can somehow manipulate this to get in that hole. Where's the other screwdriver I had? Where'd it go? It was just in my hand. I just used it. That's how you tell I'm getting tired if I... It's right in front of me. Right here. Here it is. So we'll put this bit back. Put this on the end of this, and let's see if I can guide this through here and into this hole. It's not going to be the easiest. No. Okay, so that's not going to work too well. So, let's try. I specifically remember struggling with this the last time. So, let's put this back. Let's grab my other hex key, which is, where did I put it's the gold handled one. That's the blue handled one. Where's my other one? Again, it was right in front of me. Not this one. Although, let's see if this one will actually do anything in here. I doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe. Oh, that's stripping the screw, and I don't want to do that. Where's the other freaking hex driver that I had? Right here. It was right here. It's a silver handle. Balland hex key. It was a silver handle. Anyways, let's just take a water break. I've got so much crap on my desk. It's no wonder I can't find a simple hex key driver. There it is right here. There it is right here. And I just moved my mouse. There we are. Okay. Let's see if I can... Nope, that is stripped beyond compare, so I gotta back that out if I can. Thank goodness I was able to back that out. Okay. Okay, so let's try. See, the idea is that this is supposed to go, I'll put the first one in. This is supposed to go right here. on here like this with a single screw in the side, and then the other one's going in here. And at the angle, there's no way to get a straight on screwdriver in there. But we'll figure it out. Is this water? It's water. A ball end. Do I have a ball end? Let's see, that's a good suggestion. Do I have a ball end one? I have ball end ones, but where? Is this one? That's not the right size. Ball end. This one? That's not a ball end. Okay, hang on. Be right back. I have a set. I think I have a set of ball ends over here. Are they metric? Are you metric? You are metric, but yeah, I bet the right. I don't have the right size here. I'll bet you any money. No, it's not the right size. Sure, the one that's missing, son of a gun, is the size I want. Hang on, that's not my only set. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Oh man. But I think you're right. I think a ball end is what I need. My, what a big heat gun you are. I need to find a ball end one. Pretty sure that's what I need. Your Torx is a good stripped hex remover. Yes, I have lots of Torx. But frig, where are my ball end drivers? I have some. That's a really big stick, I know. Okay, let me just look through. Oh, right here. Oh, come on. My Weras. My Weras. And I'm pretty sure it's the green one. It is. See, I knew I had them. There we go. Oh, set of Weras. I can't pull that out. There we go. Okay. I knew I had them. See if I can get this to work. There we go, ball end for the win. Come on, it's tight, but let's get there. Let's get there. Let's get there. Come on. Come on, now can I fit? Can I fit you in? And then just this way, yeah, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. These Weras have a really cool flat end too. It's almost like a Torx shape. Come on. We're almost there. We are so close. Okay, we are there. Oh, come on, one more turn. That's all I want. There we go. We are there for the win. We are there. Keep them on the bench, I know. You know, the other funny thing is I think I have another set of does this have ball ends? No. Oh no, those aren't ball ends, those are just Torx. Yeah. Another nice set of wear tools I got here. These ones are velcroed to my bench. Yeah, I got to keep those on the bench so I have them handy. Okay, perfect. So now that one's on. So then I just need another one of these 10 millimeters and the other piece here. And this is just going to go on this side here, like so. This I can use this for. There we go. Oh, a little tighter yet. There we go. There we go. And that's the servo holders for this, for the can lifters. Okay. Let me put this back in its holder so I don't lose it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll leave that on the bench just over there. Would it hurt the model to put an access hole? Probably, yeah, it would be very thin in this area here though. Yeah, because these aren't super thick walls. Okay, so we got that part on. Now let's see the servos. So if this is standing up like this, we have these big servos, can lifters, which are going to go down. So these are going in like that. And again, we're going to have the same issue with screwing the servo in over here as well. So I'll be using the ball or something for that, because then we have one servo that's going in there and the other servo is going in here, like so. So we have to be able to access these servo screws here, which aren't as bad. But do I put them in first? It looks like I do. And those go in, and then of course we have the can lifters that are going to sort of go in there, and then that's the can lifter that's going to lift up on the servo right here with the servo. So let's screw these servos in. I'm probably going to need this little guy again, and I believe it was these guys. Now this I can't use my ball socket, but let's see if I can get these guys in. Top one's not bad, it's this bottom one I got to come in at a slight angle. Okay. So far so good. Let me there's the top one in there. Get the top one in the bottom one here. Let's get the top one in here. So you definitely want to put this one on first. That one went in almost too easy. Those holes look too big. Huh. Wonder if that was supposed to be a bigger screw. Don't think so. These are all very similar sized. Let's get this bottom one in here. Okay. That is not tightening. Is that screw different? Is that a different size screw than the bottom one? Don't think so, but let's just see. Oh yeah, it is a little smaller. These are so similar. Which one? This one. Nope. That just slid right in. Let's get that out of there. That just slid right in. I wonder if I use an M3 on these. Let's just see if an M3, that wouldn't be, I don't know, let's try this. Nope, not that. Huh, this one? No, let's just see if this will work. No, the screws, the holes in there seem a little bit big for, they seem a little bit big for the, for those servo screws, but as these ones, yeah, that is more of an M3. This is more of an M3 right here going in here. Yeah, definitely an M3 to going in there on that one. But the top ones are small enough holes I can use the actual servo screws. Okay, so let's see if I can get this bottom one up here in. There's just not much room to work here. Okay, come on. It's going. That'll be a case where I think it's going to be easier in this case if I take this little flexi handle and I just do this. Yeah, that's much easier. There it is. Okay. That servo's snugly in place. There we go. Okay. Now the outside one, of course, is going to be easy because I don't have to go around any corners or jump through any hoops. This one should be real easy. He said. There we go. Okay. And the second one. Let's see, what are you saying? Is it a bolt that goes through and screwed into the other black tab across? This one, no. This is a bolt here. This is just a piece of filament in here and here. And then I'm going to have to use an M3, I think, for this one here. Let's see. For this one, actually for these two, I can probably get away with M3s. Yeah, that one. And where's the other one? And I think that's where these came from. I think that's what I ended up using on these last time. With some M3s on these bottom ones, self-tapping. There we go. those servos are in there super tight. Okay, so that's what we're looking at so far for the back of this, like that. Okay, a lot of wiring going on here. I need to get some servo extension cords too. You'll see when we start doing the wiring up, how all the wiring is going to kind of fit together and where it all has to run. Yeah, so before we do the arms, I need to take the arm hole, this one, and there's two arms here, and then we're going to be fitting in these pieces like so that get cut off. So we have to fit in these modified servo doomer thingies here, and then they're going to go on here, and then we'll show you how they lift the cans because I can use the servo tester for that. So let's get we got the hot glue gun heating up. Okay, I'm going to sit down again because my body cannot handle standing up too long. Okay, so are we warm? Glue gun's getting there. This is one where I used a lot of glue, I remember. So this one we're going to get some, we're not quite warm yet. We got to let that heat up a bit further. We'll get these both down here and get these both put in. Oops, I realize you're off camera here. Let me zoom that out a little bit. There we go. Is there a bot that can go to the liquor store? Maybe, eventually. We can program it, right? If you know how to program stuff, hey, you never know. I can trim a little bit more off this. Oh, that sounded like a bullet. It went pew! I don't know where the piece went. See if this one makes the same noise when I trim the hair off this. Ready? See if you can hear this. Oh no, that one is not nearly as dramatic. That first one, I swear I heard it go pew. Oh, that was funny. Okay, let's get this ready. Let's get some glue in here. Glue, 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 and let's get this stuck in. Come on, come on, come on, don't dry. There we go. Let's get that down there like that, and then we're going to put a bunch of glue in the top of it here. There, just like that. And let's smooth that glue out, just like that. There we go. This glue is awful stringy. That's okay. Okay, there's that one. Good. Still. Okay. That one should be good. We'll glue this second one in. They don't have to look pretty because you don't really see them. Okay, we'll get this one in. Come on, come on. And then we'll glue the top. There we go. Okay, and we'll let that settle. Whoops! I dropped it. Here we go. Think I need a longer glue stick? You sure? Well, that's the length. I got a box of them. I got like 50 pieces. I got glue stick to last me a lifetime. But that's the length of the stick that comes with it. These are industrial glue guns that I think are meant for gluing cartons closed and stuff. So, yeah. That's pretty much in there. Okay, so we can work with this one. So So let's put this one on. So this now, and let me just double check the instructions, make sure I do this correct. Okay, you should have this completed with 2 lift arm servos in the correct position. Okay, take the servos, fit them into the frame. Note that the gray bracket in the picture is the one you should fit first. Of course it is. Okay. You can lift your arm to the movement up and down without the arm going beyond the base of the assembly. Use a can to test this setup. Okay, so what we got to do here is I'm going to put the servo tester on here. Let's grab this. And again, don't screw this up. That way, power it on. Okay, that up, down, that's down. That's the can being lowered to its lowest position. So we want this. We want this piece put on here without extending beyond the bottom of that. So we want that right about there. So now you'll see, here, let me zoom into the zoom in here. You'll see what happens when I plug the servo in to the tester. Okay. You're going to see this arm. Well, it's hard to see because it's black. But you'll see that arm lift. Like so. So now, what I should be able to do, let's unplug the arm. Let's open the lid. Let's put the lid in, the servo in the lid. Okay, so we open the lid. So we open the lid. Let's unplug that. Let's put this one back on. And let's get me a can. I happen to have a can here. A full can. This test brought to you by 7-Up. So we put the can in. Actually, let's just make sure, right from this position, that the lid will close. Okay. Lid closes fine. We open the lid. Let's plug the other servo in for the can. And there's our can. Look at that. Look at that. Here. Perfect. There we go. Now the drink is shaken up. Now that we've shaken up the drink, let's do that. Let's close our... Let's leave our lid open because we're going to hook up the other one now. So that one I can actually... Actually, I don't even think. I think that is on there. Oh, see, I've got the glue in the way of the actual screw-in thing. I'll worry about that in a minute. So now let's get the other servo hooked up. Okay, we want it in its lower position. Right there. Okay, and so that's going to go on. Now what we don't want here is we don't want that one will be okay right about there. We just don't want these lifters extending beyond the bottom of this, because this is all going to sit flat on the bottom of that. So now that we have that one there, I can pull this up here, I can put the can in again, and we can test this other lifter right here. And here we go. Works good. Looks good. Okay, those are in the right spot. Those are working good. There we go. Let's get the can out of here. And we can close this. No, I don't want to close that manually. I'm just going to quickly hook this servo, this top one up again. Do it properly. Okay, power it on, and we'll close the lid. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that makes the can assembly pretty much done. Other than the fact that we got to run some wires, and then the can assembly will now, there's holes on the bottom of this piece. There's these 3 holes right here on the bottom, which correspond, or there's actually 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, my bad. I can't count. There's 4 holes on the bottom, which correspond with 4 holes on the bottom of the can lifter. And then we just have to kind of run these wires for the can lifters. However we're going to run the wires. But so that kind of just all sits in here. And then that's sort of what I mean. Now I have the ability to actually, what I need to do is let's open this lifter again. Let's open the top one. Open the can lid so I can see. Okay. Now with that open, I now know, oh, sorry, let me zoom out here a bit. With that open, there we go. I now know the distance I have for this, which is not very much. This has to go on right about there because there's that tiny little piece of the can lift right there. So this whole end piece, I'm going to have to find some way to get this on there and support it on there. So we're going to have to worry about that at another time. I think what I'm going to have to do is put an adapter on here, and then this thing can kind of sit on the adapter. I'm going to have to design something to work that way with this. So, yeah. Here, I'm just going to shut this can opener. There we go. Okay. But that is kind of where we're at for now. Just got to figure out how I ran these wires last time. So all these servo wires and everything will end up running down into the electronic bay on here. There we go. No screws to hold the arm to the servo guard. Yeah, there is actually. Thank you. I should do that. There is. I actually got some. Let me turn this glue gun off. I actually accidentally covered the holes with hot glue too. So I just have to kind of cut that out. I got a bit of hot glue in the holes where the screws got to go. Thanks for reminding me about that. So I got to kind of poke that glue out of here. Come on. There we go. Pop this out. I can see the hole. There we go. Okay, just get that glue out of there. Come on. Fingernails help, but I don't have any. There's one piece. Yeah, I can fit that in now, and that I believe is these little black guys right here. I think this is the one I need right here. I got to clean that glue out a bit better. Okay, that's better. Okay, let me just test fit to make sure that this is the right screw. I think it is this black one. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's this black one that goes in. Just like that. Okay, and the next one, I got even more glue in, of course, in the way. Although with the glue in there, I think that'll... Oh, that popped out pretty easy. There we go. A little bit more here. Come on. Okay. Feel like a surgeon, you know. Like a surgeon. Oh, cutting for the very first time. It's okay, I won't sing, sorry. That had to be painful for some of you. Okay. And the screw. See if I can get this in here. And it's in. Good. So we got those both in there. Good. Cool. Good call. And with that mess made, and after 3 hours of streaming, I'm done. That's off. We'll unplug it to make sure. Unplug the power supply. And we will clean up later. I have tomorrow off. Tomorrow is a holiday here in Canada. It is Canada Day, July... No, it's... What is tomorrow? Memorial Day? Anyways, tomorrow's a holiday. It's Queen Victoria Day or something. I don't know. It's some holiday, but tomorrow is a statutory holiday here. So I have tomorrow off. I may catch myself streaming to do a little bit more of this. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. Stay tuned. Better call. Ball end. Better call. No, I got them both on without removing the one servo. Not a problem. It's my angle. It does say to do that though. It does say to install the one before you install the other. So, yeah. Go grill a steak. Victoria Day. Yeah, it's Victoria Day tomorrow. It's a holiday, that's all I know, but I got the day off. So I might come on and stream a little bit of this. We'll see. There's a little ways to go yet, but for the build, the body build and everything, it's almost pretty complete. It's just I need to figure out a way to adapt this to it. So that may require a little bit of CAD work on my behalf to figure out, because I really want to put this on the back of this guy. I think it would look so cool. But overall, I like the look. I like the look of them so far. So basically, this guy is going to end up sitting down something like that. This guy comes in here. He sits down like that. He'll have a, here we go. He'll have his head on here, which will rotate. He goes in there like that. We've got the fender bumpers here. So this is going to have like some little fenders on it here with headlights on it. I've got to figure out the LEDs. I've got LEDs, but the LEDs that I have are a little bit too small. I may have to rethink or repurpose these parts to fit the LEDs I have. I don't want to have to buy any. And then there's the fender that goes on this side. Okay, so we have the fenders, and he's looking really good. He's coming together. Coming together. There we go. I'll turn them on a bit of an angle so you can kind of see the color scheme there. There we go. There's the color scheme sort of thing. Don't fall. Do not fall. I like it. I really like the look of this thing. So far. I'm happy with it. So far. I think my phone died. My phone died. Oh boy. I wonder if anybody's been trying to call me. My phone never dies. There we go. Okay. Anyways, guys, I think that's it. That's all. I've got a big mess to clean up here later. So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around. I appreciate it. There we go. And we'll see you guys. I may pop on tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I got to give this arm a rest. I got to go take a painkiller because it's hurting a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow. Maybe build his arms because we got to do his arms next. Then we got to finish his head. There's not a lot left to do with the build. I got to figure out the headlights. And then the electronics are going to take a little bit of fiddling and farting around with too. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Yeah, other than that, everything's going great. So we'll catch all you guys later. Have a wonderful evening. And for any Canadians out there, happy Victoria Day tomorrow. Enjoy your day off, and we'll talk to you guys later. Take care for now. Bye. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I got to hit the closing scene. There we go.